This is how I do YouTube and still succeed at med school all at the same time. Let's talk about that during a walk with my dog. Because this one needs a walk. The most obvious challenge is obviously the workload. I've talked about this before, but medicine is hard work, as you might know, and also YouTube is quite a lot of work. This makes for a good combination, but the way that I deal with this is that YouTube is a hobby and I do like doing that. So that makes it more easy to cope with it. And medicine is not always that fun, but in most cases it is actually. One of the other challenges is that medicine is difficult, but not all year through. Most of the times, if you are working, the workload is more or less the same. But for studying medicine, the workload tends to be more when exams are coming up or when you have a master thesis to complete or something like that. That means that some periods you have all the time in the world and other periods you have no time at all. Obviously the solution for that is having some spare videos which you can upload when you didn't have the time to make any, but that's also quite difficult because these periods, like exam periods, can take up a long time. The third problem I tend to have with combining YouTube and med school is the lack of motivation. Because sometimes you just don't feel like doing something. We probably all know that feeling, don't we? But if you have a lot to do, then a day of doing nothing can actually hurt your process a lot. So what I'm actually trying to say is that consistency is the most difficult to do. Well, obviously making content is, well, in the beginning quite difficult, but once you get the hang of it, it is quite intuitive. But to do that time and time again, that's the difficult part. Now that we've identified a problem, how do we actually solve it? The most important thing is actually setting boundaries. I've decided for myself that obviously I want to go all in for medicine and that YouTube is just a hobby. That means I have to set boundaries on how much and how long I will work on YouTube. I try to do that in two ways. So first, I want to say every morning, because I'm actually a morning person, I won't try to work for med school. That is writing my thesis or just doing lectures or anything else. And afterwards, like I would say at 4:00 p.m, then that's the moment where I can start doing some YouTube stuff. After I've walked with my dog, of course. I need this because sometimes you just don't have the energy anymore to do anything else, and I rather cut down on some YouTube stuff than cut down on medicine stuff, because as bad as it feels, missing an upload wouldn't be as bad as failing an exam, of course. If you like this style of content, please like and subscribe so I know that I need to make more of this type of content. Then again, setting boundaries is sometimes difficult because, well, most of the times making YouTube videos is more fun than doing lectures or anything. That makes it all the more difficult to keep my promise for me to not to do YouTube and first do medicine. But I also try to do to set boundaries in the way, well, if I first need to finish these set of lectures, or I first need to finish that part of my master thesis before I can start working on my YouTube projects. So keeping a schedule, not only keeping an upload schedule, but also a schedule like an agenda. It helps me because it shows me what I still need to do for YouTube and for school. And because I prioritize school, I tend to do that first. After I've identified what I need to do, then I can plan ahead and look at my agenda and see where I have some spots to do what I have to do. The planning is not that hard, but actually following that planning, that's the problem. To make the planning more easy, I do something else, and that is actually batch creating. What does that mean? Well, if you're making one video, you're actually making more videos. Let me explain. So let's say I am at the scripting of the video process. Then I will, instead of create one script, I will create the script of 3 videos. When I come to the filming part, I film 3 videos at one time, and so on and so forth. That makes it more easy for me to plan it in, because now I only have to film once a month instead of 4. But that's not all. It's a little more difficult. I have an upload scheme of 1 video per 2 weeks. But most of the times I actually upload 1 video per week. That is because I batch create the videos that I need to create. And then the other ones, like this one for instance, is just a video because I really wanted to make this, and I do quite in fact enjoy the process of making videos quite a lot. Up until this point it would seem that YouTube and medicine feels like work. Well, that might be something different. Although it might feel sometimes that way, it is actually both fun to do. And I actually need both of them to complete medicine and to complete YouTube, because for me it is the perfect balance between studying and letting my creative person on the loose. But I also really like these walks, especially now in autumn, because the smells in this forest are actually so amazing. Well, let's continue. Hey, and don't think because I'm making this video I got it all figured out, because I don't. I just started this YouTube journey recently. It's still quite difficult, but I try to manage, and because my exams are coming up, I need to start figuring it out. But I have some videos batched up, so I'll be able to upload in the exam period. Well, now we're coming at the point that I ask you, what do you do and where does your time management lack? Alright, we're back home. I guess the essence of this video is just that if you really want to, you can do whatever. Of course it will take a bit of planning, but that's not a big deal if you really want to do it. In both situations, in medicine and YouTube, you'll have to put in the work. If one supports the other, that is just no problem at all for me. And I must tell you that I cannot say this won't be a problem in the future, because I still have to do my internships and I don't know how much time I will have then. But those are worries for later and not to worry about right now, because I think that we do live in the future a little bit too much. If you like this vlog style video, you'll probably like this video as well.